Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into a story that's well, it's about creativity and faith and family all kind of mixed up together.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
We're going to be talking about the Demina sisters.
Gio, Jesse, and Jemima.
They're the powerhouse behind Triple J Plus. You know that Nigerian entertainment group?
Right.
You might know them from their YouTube series Best Friends. It's like a total hit.
Oh, yeah.
They write, film, and produce the whole thing themselves.
It's super impressive.
But their story goes way beyond just those videos.
You'll see.
It's incredible.
What I think is really fascinating is that they blend their filmmaking, with music.
Oh, right.
And their dad is a really prominent pastor.
Right.
Like your whole journey is about turning dreams into reality.
Right.
Even when things get tough and they've got to navigate family and, all that.
So let's rewind all the way back to the beginning. These sisters had their eyes set on Nollywood.
The Nigerian film industry.
But breaking in, not so easy.
No.
Sending emails, offering to be PAs, anything.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Classic, right? It's that feeling of just hitting a wall,
Yeah.
especially in film.
Oh, yeah.
But here's where their story takes a turn. Their mom saw their frustration and said, why wait for permission? You guys have the skills. Make something yourselves.
What great advice.
Amazing.
And that's what they did.
Totally.
They even used a mop stick as a boom pole.
Resourceful.
So resourceful.
Right. Talk about making it work.
Oh, and to make things even more dramatic, the actress playing the lead in their first project, she didn't show up for the shoot.
The day of.
Oh, no. What did they do?
Quick thinking time. They asked their younger sister, Jemima, to step in.
Wow.
She was supposed to be an extra.
Jemima was just thrown into the deep end. What a trial by fire.
Yeah. But this project actually became the pilot episode of Best Friends.
Oh, wow.
They uploaded it to YouTube, not expecting much. This is before YouTube was like the giant it is now.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
Boom. The views start pouring in. Did they know they had something special right away?
No way. They were refreshing the page, constantly. Is this real? Hundreds, thousands of views.
Wow.
Eventually 10 million.
That's incredible.
But what's funny is they admit that first episode was their worst one, technically.
Really?
Bad audio, the mop stick, the whole deal.
So what was it about that episode that made it resonate with so many people?
They call it the divine touch. They believe something bigger than them, contributed.
Interesting.
This idea is kind of woven through their whole story.
Okay.
But beyond that, I think it was just the rawness, the realness and relatable story. Sometimes a good story can be better than perfect technical stuff,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like those indie films that are just captivating, even if they're not perfect. Now, their success wasn't just YouTube. They actually started as a music group.
Triple J Plus.
Even before filmmaking.
It all began with Jemima dancing to Jesse's music. They were a duo. Then their little sister joined, and their mom, who's their biggest supporter, she named them Triple J Plus.
I love how the name carries through all their work. But wait, if they started with music, how'd they end up in film school?
Well, they went abroad to study,
Mm.
So music was on hold for a bit.
Makes sense.
It wasn't until Jemima missed the music and really pushed them that they got back into the studio. Now they even compose the theme songs for their show.
Oh, that's so cool. So they've got this awesome mix of talents.
Yeah.
But there's another layer to their story. Their family, especially their father, who's a pastor.
Actually, this is where I have a personal connection.
Yeah.
Their father's teachings helped me through a tough time.
Really?
When I was having doubts,
Yeah.
His words just really helped me find my way. So hearing the sisters talk about him, it's extra meaningful.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
What struck you about the way they described their parents?
They call them radicals, which isn't something you hear every day.
Oh, definitely not.
But it makes sense when they explain it. It's not just about faith, but actions,
Mm.
They've really instilled a strong work ethic in their daughters, a commitment to being great at what they do and staying true to their beliefs.
It's refreshing to hear about a family like that. One built on respect and communication. They even have a story about wanting to quit the show when things were hard.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Instead of babying them, their parents, especially their dad, encouraged them to keep going. He reminded them about professionalism and keeping their word.
Even when people were criticizing them.
Yeah, exactly. It was tough love, but also support.
It makes you think about how that dynamic plus their faith helped them face the challenges of working together as sisters.
Totally.
We'll dig into that after a quick break. Welcome back to our deep dive with the Demina sisters. We were just talking about their family and how that must have been a factor, in working together as siblings.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Imagine making a show with your sisters and your dad's a pastor.
Yeah, it's like the stakes are super high, but they've made it work. They've balanced it all. They've even talked about the criticism they got for their early work.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that mop stick boom pole?
Oh, yeah. Some people really focused on the technical stuff like the audio and the framing. Even the boom mic showing up in the shot.
I know. It's funny how those imperfections sometimes make it even better. Those early episodes had this rawness,
Right.
Even if they weren't super polished,
They totally owned the fact that they were learning as they went.
they were doing it all themselves.
With no resources.
Exactly. It was pure DIY driven by passion. And honestly, I think that's a big part of why people loved it.
Absolutely.
They just went out and created.
Didn't wait for permission.
That resonates with so many people.
For sure.
It's inspiring that they didn't let the criticism stop them. They used it to get better.
Each episode was better than the last.
They were basically building their own film school.
Figuring it out as they went.
And now they're getting noticed by sponsors.
Which is huge. It shows how talented they are and the impact they're making.
Right.
But they're still so grounded, focused on the work. They even say they haven't even come close to what they want to achieve.
It's exciting. They're not stopping. They want to keep pushing and trying new things and telling important stories.
You can feel that in their work. They're not just going through the motions. They love what they do.
I was surprised to learn that Best Friends is filmed completely in Nigeria.
Really?
I thought they were filming somewhere else because of the quality.
Me too. It just shows how much talent and resources there are in Nigeria.
Exactly. They're showing off their own country.
They're challenging the idea that good productions can only come from certain places.
Right. They're proving creativity is everywhere.
And they're doing it with so much pride.
It's amazing to see them use their platform to elevate Nigerian film.
Speaking of platforms, let's talk about online fame.
Yeah.
They've been in the public eye for a while. They've definitely dealt with negativity.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It seems like no matter what you do, someone's got something negative to say online.
It's true. And it's tough to handle, especially when you're putting your heart into it.
But their relationship with their parents really helped them.
They talked about how their parents told them to see criticism as accountability.
Wow.
Even mean comments.
That's pretty mature.
Instead of getting defensive, their parents helped them understand that even those comments could mean people care.
That's a good way to look at it. I bet their faith helps too.
Definitely. It gives them grounding and perspective, helps them focus on what matters.
It's interesting how they call their parents radicals.
Yeah, it challenges the stereotype of a pastor's family.
Right. It shows that faith can be strong and resilient and even a little rebellious.
They talk about how their parents taught them to work hard and be excellent and have a purpose.
It can tell those values are important to them.
They're not just making content, they're trying to make a difference.
And they're doing it all while figuring out sibling stuff. Remember the on-set arguments?
Oh yeah, Jemima even walked off set once.
It shows that even close siblings have their moments.
And working together can make it more intense.
But they work through it.
Communicated and put their passion first.
They obviously love and respect each other.
They even joke about how those arguments are part of their creative process.
It's like they use that sibling energy for good.
They're not afraid to disagree, but they always come back together.
It shows how mature they are. They know conflict happens. It's about how you handle it.
And they handle it with grace and humor, and they're focused on their shared vision.
It's pretty amazing how they make it all look so easy,
Yeah, juggling online fame and the show and being sisters.
Right. But like we've been saying, it's more than just talent. It's hard work and knowing their strengths.
Definitely.
It makes you wonder what makes each of them tick, Let's start with Jessie, the director. They've said she's the one with the vision, the driving force.
She's always pushing the limits.
Yeah.
Experimenting and taking risks.
But remember those on-set clashes? It seems like that drive can cause friction.
Especially with Jemima.
Like the time she walked off set.
Oh, yeah.
But to be fair to Jessie, it seems like she balances her vision with diplomacy.
She's not just bossing everyone around. She's a leader.
Right.
And she knows how to handle those strong personalities, especially in her family. And she turns it into something creative.
Now Jemima. She's the heart of their projects. She brings the characters to life. It's crazy to think she was thrown into acting like that when she had to fill in for that actress.
I know. Could you imagine?
What a way to start.
Talk about pressure. But she was so young, and that experience must have shaped her.
I think it shows how adaptable she is. And she's got that natural talent,
Totally.
And she's doing all of this while being the little sister.
And dealing with Jesse as the director.
Oh, yeah. They even mentioned how Jemima's kind of stuck in the middle between Jesse's vision and Gio's production stuff.
Right. She has to balance it all.
And she does it with grace and humor.
Let's talk about Gio. She's not on camera, but she's essential. She keeps everything running smoothly.
She's the ultimate organizer, solves problems before they happen, keeps everyone on track.
They even joked about her being the deadline police,
The voice of reason.
the grounding force in all the craziness.
It shows that you don't have to be in the spotlight to be important.
Exactly. They're a perfect example of how different personalities and skills can work together. Each one brings something unique, and together they're unstoppable.
We've talked about their journey, their family, their faith, their personalities. What does it all mean? What can we take away from their story?
Well, I think it shows us that success isn't a solo thing. It's about finding the right people to work with, people who challenge you, support you, get your vision,
It's also about being open to feedback and learning from mistakes.
and always trying to improve.
And having those values in a good support system helps with the tough times.
I think their story's about faith, too.
Ah,
Not just religious faith, but believing in yourself and your dreams. They've shown that anything's possible with talent, hard work, and believing in something bigger.
they're so inspiring. Their story makes you want to go create something amazing.
It really does. So to wrap up our deep dive, think about this. What are your unique strengths? What are your dreams? And how could you use your talents to make a difference in the world, just like the Demenis sisters?